and welcome back to our channel. This week we're going to take a little departure from financial freedom and talk about expat living. It's going to be a solo episode with just me, and the topic this week is going to be what to do when expat life takes a toll on your mental health. So last week I was having a really hard week, and on Friday it really got the best of me and I was feeling pretty down. So what I did is I actually wrote out some things to help me, and I turned that into a blog post, and I thought it would be great to share it here on YouTube as well. So regardless of what you thought before moving overseas, you've now been on expat assignment for a little bit of time, and you now know that it's not all rainbows and butterflies like maybe you thought before you left your home country. It can get really hard. There's a lot of challenges. You're trying to make a new life in a new country, in a new culture, and that's definitely no easy feat. And although it's perfectly normal to feel that way sometimes, to feel kind of down and in a funk and frustrated with the challenge that you took on, today I want to share with you some ways that I like to get out of a funk whenever I feel like expat life has taken a toll on my mental health. Alright, so the first one, take one day at a time. Now I know this one's easier said than done. Maybe you're like me and you think a lot about the future. So I'm a company expat and we never know, when my husband is going to be moving or where he's going to be moving. So I'm always thinking about the where, the when, the how. My logistic mind is always going, and I'm always trying to think of what the future is going to bring, which continent, or are we going home, things like that. So sometimes I can live too much in the future. Maybe for you, it's living in the past. Maybe you left an awesome city back home, or you left your dream job. Maybe you moved overseas for your spouse's job and you weren't quite ready to go, but you decided to take the challenge on. And now that you're in your new country, you keep thinking about your past. Totally understandable. So to take one thing at a time, what I like to do is when I'm feeling in a funk, when I wake up that morning, I will think of one thing I can do that day. So it can be something totally small, like go to the grocery store, or maybe read a chapter in the book I'm reading. It can be learning a new tense in a language. So I'm trying to learn Spanish, so maybe learning a new tense, a new past tense, to cooking a new recipe, or even cleaning out your closet. Really any task that you can give yourself in the beginning of the day to kind of get you through that day and have something to focus on will really help take your mind off of your mood. And no matter if it's a big task or a small task, when you go to sleep that night, you'll definitely have a feeling of accomplishment that you set a goal for yourself that day and you accomplished the goal. It just doesn't matter what it is, but you'll feel accomplished when you go to sleep that night. Okay, number 2 is going to be exercise. I know you've probably heard this one, a lot of people say it, but it's true. If you're feeling stressed or you are living in your head too much, thinking about things, the past, the future, you're stressed about expat life, you definitely need to get some form of exercise going. So for me, it's running. I like to run. Running is like therapy for me. It's a time where I'm by myself, just listening to my music, and I can kind of think through everything I want to. We've been in quarantine here in Argentina for, I think this is day 131, and for the first 100 days, we weren't able to jog outside, so it was really hard. I definitely noticed a difference between jogging all the time to jogging never, and it was really hard to get through that time. Of course, I substituted it with YouTube videos, so if you're at home or you're someplace where you can't jog, definitely check out YouTube. There's tons of great videos out there that you can do. And moving your body every day will show you whether it's holding a 1-minute plank or going on a jog or doing some weightlifting or jumping on a trampoline. It will show you that you're strong mentally and physically, and that will help change your mindset. And you don't need to do full-on exercise for this benefit. I've even noticed that when I just go on an afternoon walk with my dogs, it really helps me clear my mind a little bit and helps me reset for the afternoon. I know everyone says it, but there's a reason everyone says go on a walk, because it really does work. Number 3 is eat foods from home. And of course, I'm not advocating eating your feelings. That's not what we want to do here. But there is definitely something about eating foods that you're used to from your home country. So for me, I will just admit right now, I put food in my suitcase, so I'll throw a big chunk of cheddar cheese in my suitcase. I put macaroni and cheese, the Kraft boxes, in my suitcase, And those things really come in handy for when I've had a bad day. I will warm up some macaroni and cheese, and there's just nothing like it. It makes you feel like you have a piece of home, a piece of your childhood, right there with you in your new country. So depending on what country you live in, this could differ for you. Maybe you can't take food in your suitcase, but if you're American, there's a good chance that they have some sort of fast food, American fast food that you can have. I know, again, fast food's not the best thing in the world, but when you see a McDonald's or a KFC or a Burger King or a Subway, which are global now, they definitely remind you of home. And of course, we want to try the local foods and eat local foods as much as possible. But when you're feeling down, sometimes getting that fast food that reminds you of home will really help brighten your mood a little bit. When I lived in Angola, the only American chain restaurant they had for the first 2 years we lived there was KFC. There was no Starbucks, there was no McDonald's, only a KFC. And I actually didn't eat a lot of KFC in Houston, but I definitely had a lot of KFC when I moved to Angola. It was pretty much a monthly thing for Andrew and I. We would get a bucket of chicken after work, and they didn't have potatoes, but they had French fries. So we would have chicken and French fries, and it really just was comfort food for us. It reminded us of home, and it was so delicious every time we had it. So go ahead and go to McDonald's. You don't have to tell anyone. You can just go get your Big Mac and French fries, enjoy it by yourself, and let it bring you back to your childhood, back in your home country. All right, guys, I've saved the most important way to get you out of your funk for number 4. But before we get into it, be sure to smash that like button. Give us a like. We haven't gotten a single like yet, so be our first like. And also subscribe to our channel. It would really help in knowing that we have a little community here, that we're growing and giving some helpful tips to. All right, number 4 is think about your why. So everyone has a reason why they're going on expat assignment. Maybe you were seeking adventure. Maybe you were just wanting a change in your life. Maybe you wanted to live somewhere with a lower cost of living. Maybe your company offered you extra money to go overseas and it was too good to pass up. So go back to the reason why you wanted to go overseas and experience that new culture. Because life is getting a little challenging now and you're taking a little mental hit, but remember that you're being challenged because you're experiencing the culture. So don't quit. Don't give up now when it gets hard. You chose this harder route for a reason. One of the biggest reasons I came on our second assignment here to Argentina was because I knew one day that I wanted to be financially free. And I knew that coming on expat assignment for the second time would help us get closer to that financial freedom goal a lot sooner than if we stayed in Houston to work. And I also like to think about my future family. So once we have a child, how it will look different if we're financially free, how we'll be able to do different things or not have to do some things. And that really motivates me to get up each day and to just keep going. And if your reason for going overseas was just the opportunity to experience a new culture, then definitely get out of your apartment, get out of your house, and go do something. I know it sounds easy. I'm totally guilty of it, just sitting in my apartment all day and not doing anything. But get out there and go experience the culture. It will definitely help you kind of snap out of your funk. So anything from going on a walk in your neighborhood, I would even take public transportation, or get in your car and drive to a new neighborhood and walk through that neighborhood. Maybe search for a class online for something new you can do, try a new recipe. There's a lot of foods, that you see at grocery stores every day that you think, I don't know, I'll try that eventually. Well, go pick up that food and give it a try. You might really enjoy it. I definitely know when I'm on expat assignment, I'm much happier when I'm busy. When I'm at home during the weekdays all day, I tend to go inward too much and think about things, and that's when I can start to get in a funk. So doing something new will kind of take you out of your mood, and who knows, maybe you'll find a new passion along the way. So definitely get super familiar with your why for going overseas. Life is hard overseas. I know before we go, we think it's going to be amazing, rainbows and butterflies and a new culture, but that new culture is what makes it so difficult to get through at times. You're going to have ups and downs for sure, and every time when you have a down, if you go back to your why and you remember why you're there, whether it's for the adventure or to learn a new language or to become financially free one day, you definitely are going to have to use that why to propel you through the hard times. Alright guys, I hope you've learned something today, and I really hope some of these tips will help you next time you get in a funk on your expat assignment. If you enjoyed these tips, please give us a like below. Remember, we're looking for our first person to give us a like, and we will give you a shout out in our next video. And also subscribe to our channel. That way you'll get an alert when we drop a new video next Friday. In the meantime, we hope you guys have a great week. Bye.